minutes left here, you guys, and I know that we had like an action item set out from earlier, just about like finding out like figuring out all the people that you've been in communication with, and then like which ones already have 3 or 4 educational experiences and are only 1 or 2 away from like actually getting started. So that was kind of our challenge today, was finding out which one of those people, like who that is, and then getting creative and collaborating and co-creating strategies on how to basically reach out and connect with these people and make sure they get those last couple educational experiences so they feel comfortable to move forward. So that was kind of our action item for everybody. And I would love to hear from you, Matt, this morning. You know, just what does that look like for you? Do you have 1 or 2 people that are maybe almost there, but not quite?
So I'm in a spot where I have a bunch of people like that, you know, sort of on the team helping Anna's business and Karita's and Bonnie. So there's a few people I'm working with, especially Shayna, who have people like that. So that's basically my list. And how the process looks for me is, you know, taking those 3 or 4 or 5 names, sticking them down on my sort of daily, you know, to-do list, and making sure that I work with them, and especially work with their you know, their sponsor. So whether it's Shayna or whether it's Karita, so that the training can duplicate. And that's all it is for me, is throughout today I got to just sprinkle in that activity to make sure that, you know, everyone keeps their momentum moving forward. And that's what it looks like for me. I'm sure everyone has their own process on how to take action. I know we have Dana on here, and we have lots of people on here, some who are newer and some who aren't. And a really good thing is to reach up at some point. And if you're curious, wow, what is the best process for me? What is the best process for each person on here to work with your warm or cold market? You know, I would get some one-on-one training and reach up and say, hey, I don't even know my process. What should or could it be? And that's kind of my advice. And so I've got my own one dialed in, but my job is to help other people with theirs.
And you nailed it, I think, there, Matt, asking for help. Maybe you can address, you know, we all go through it. And when we ask for help from people with experience, sometimes we have a belief system that they're too busy. Do you want to address that?
Yes. The first thing that comes to mind is there's an old quote, which is, if you want to get something done, give it to a busy person. Which means if you got a busy upline, they're doing stuff, which is great. However, we do conjure up a fake belief. Like, we don't have grounded evidence that they're as busy as we believe they are. And we just don't want to like rock their boat. You know, we care about each other, but the reality is we care about our incomes and the people we're touching. And we don't succeed unless our down team succeeds. And so it goes forever. Therefore, how do I say? It's kind of like, if you have a belief, and I'll say it to myself, if I have a belief that, you know, my up team is too busy to hear from me, or my problems are too small, I'll just take the belief and pluck it out of my brain and take my imaginary lighter and I light it on fire, and I pick up the phone and I call or text my upline. And every time I'm received with excitement that I'm calling.
Yeah, exactly. Every single time. I'm going to give you an example, you guys. Like, a lot of leaders do have the mantra, my team fills my schedule. And I'm sure you guys have all heard this. You want to work with the willing. Work with the willing, right? You guys heard that before, work with the willing? Well, I think that's important as well, because how I can tell someone's willing is they're reaching out to me and they're saying, hey, like, what does 3 o'clock look like? What does 2 o'clock look like? Like, hey, do you have time tonight at 7:30 for a half an hour? I got some questions. I want some guidance. So feel free, you guys, to reach out, send me a message, like schedule my time to ask questions, those types of things. Because when we're working with the willing, that's how, as a leader, we can tell who's willing, is because they're actually reaching out and want to collaborate. They want to strategize. They want to practice their communication. They're like, they want to be in the trench, but they just need a little support. They want to make sure they're backed up. And so that's it. You guys work with the willing, and feel free to reach out and ask for help. So great call today, you guys. And that is going to be it. So appreciate y'all for coming out. I'm just going to stop the recording here. And then we're good to go.